All right, good morning, everybody. Mike from Mbox Wave. Um, so, in spirit of the videos I've been doing, the last few videos of watching the market and taking trades off of it, whether we find some killer setups or not. Um, I got an email from somebody saying, why don't I do a Dow Jones um, watch? Watching the Dow Jones and seeing what happens for the whole day. So I'll do that. So, I got the YM pulled up on the 1 minute chart. This is pre-market, all right, pre-market. So, I'm just going to do some basic analysis at first, all right. So it's, what is it, 8:53? Yeah, so, I'm going to draw some lines that to guide me for the day, see what happens. So it is notable. I zoomed out. So this is notable to me right here. That's a level of support. This is a little trickier here. This is kind of like a congestion zone, but I'll mark it. You know, the top of the range. It could, it's not exact, but actually, well, let's use a extended line tool. That's green because I didn't have the colors set up for that properly. I'm gonna make it blue. Uh, make it a little wider. All right, that's fine. Um, so that's the top of the range, and I guess here it served as some support, broke through. Here it served as a resistance, so that looks like an okay line to me. Yesterday we had you know, uh, a downtrend here, clear downtrend going down since the market opened until the afternoon, and then in the afternoon and the overnight, it's just been sort of going horizontal, and we'll see what happens now. But we are pretty much in this sort of range here, so we'll see what happens. We almost hit, I guess, the previous support, but I guess it sort of held, and we had, look at this, we had some bunch of selling here, so that kind of was climactic, I suppose. But that's pre-market open, and I'm not trading that. Other things to do to mark up, help me guide is, you know, I'll mark the previous level, max of cumulative buying, you know, you know, this can be done as just a guideline. I'll just do this. This could be useful to do just every day. Mark the extremities, because I always like to see if the market exceeds the previous day. So I don't think I've marked it like this in a video before, but anyway, that's just so that we know. Yeah, that's a 1 minute chart. If we go to the 5 minute, 5 minute tells us we've been in the overall downtrend. All right, so that's we keep that in mind. Um, we had huge buying here. Then look at this selling here. Sort of predicated this continued down move here, right? And this there was effort to push price up. It didn't break through these highs here, and price continued lower. So that's what we keep in mind, that we're in a downtrend overall, right? But market can always reverse. We don't know. So back to the 1 minute chart, and that's the top of our range. Bunch of buying coming in, demand. All right, well, I think that's it for pre-market for now, so I'll wait until the market's open. We'll see if we can catch some trades and go over some analysis. All right, so I'm in a trade right off the bat. Market's just open. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get in, but then I thought, there was a very nice, if you look at this, a huge amount of selling in the inbox histogram and in the cumulative delta. And we had this huge push down. We had the X total control of the bids. But look at this box, right? I mean, this box right here is tiny. And look at how much selling, right? So that looks like an effort, no result situation and oversold. Potentially. Now, this is the market open, so things are moving fast and volatile, right? So, it's got to take that into consideration, right? I've got my risk reward a little over 1, okay? And, I set I didn't want to, put the stop under this swing point. It was just, I want to manage the risk accordingly, right? So I put it at this swing low because this took off like a rocket, right? So if this trade is to work out, my guess is that, continue rocketing up, but I don't know. If it doesn't, then I'll take the loss, But I put the take profit right here at the top of this resistance here, right? I could have put it at the top of the congestion zone, I mean, I could move it there. I certainly could. Because I did draw this line for the congestion zone, Maybe that would be a good idea. That would give me a better risk reward. Looks like price is shooting up here. I mean, I'll just leave it as it is, because it's, could be a riskier trade being it's at the open, but see, Sky just rocketed up. We had total control of the offers, huge pace of the offers. So this looks like it was climactic, oversold, and effort, no result. Plus, we had a nice buy imbalance here in the inbox histogram. Actually, it's starting to look like a pretty good trade. We had a buy imbalance here in the inbox histogram. And we're about $2,000 in profits now. It's flirting with my take profit line like it often does. Probably does for a lot of people. Just gonna see if it's just we're gonna get this on video or not. We got it. All right, 2,700 in profits for a first trade. All right, not bad. Maybe I'll continue going. I mean, I was deliberating whether to raise my take profit to that congestion line, but I guess I didn't. It's sort of hard to think and talk at the same time. Oh, looks like we hit that. Look at that line. So that line that I drew in the very beginning, this congestion zone, and we ended up hitting it. It looks like price is reversing. So look at that. This line was ended up pretty good. So it's important to draw these support resistance lines. All right, so let's keep fishing. I'll put the record on pause, and we'll see what else comes around. All right, so I'm back in. Looks like I'm in another one of these effort no result trades. Okay, I'm going also for a slightly over 1-on-1 risk to reward. Right, so I'm taking these trades because I'm not watching multiple markets where I would look for the 10 plus points of confluence, right? So, so that people can learn to identify or, these setups and kind of see it through my eyes. I guess I'm not able to talk fast enough, but I got in here. I set my profit here. I'll explain why. So the thing is, we had a supply here, 227, 267. So supply increased and we had a lower low. However, the selling, okay, we already hit the profit. So I can't even talk fast enough. All right, 5,700 profit. That's really good so far. Usually I'd be done for the day, but as it's pretty early, I'll keep on trading and explain my analysis. So, okay, this is the order fills got in here, exited there. So we got the minus 227 to 67. Increase in supply, less selling. Do you see the contraction? Then we have a decrease in selling, minus 267 to minus 145, higher low, but a lot more selling here. So we had a lot less supply, a lot more selling. So that's an effort, no result, because we didn't achieve a lower low. And it's oversold. It's a divergence because there's less supply and it's oversold and it's a higher low. Also, we see that the overall selling is decreased. So overall selling is increasing, but we have an oversold condition in the inbox histogram combined with the drop in supply, right? And this, I was looking at this more as climactic because of this oversold situation. I didn't set my take profit to be a large amount because I didn't consider this to be a killer setup, but it did work. All right. It did work with this whole oversold situation. So the thing is, it wasn't just this. I saw that, we had a pattern here. First, we had increase in supply, no selling. Decrease in supply, a lot of selling. So it's like 1, 2, bam. Right? That's how the market plays with us. Right? And, we'll see if this contraction leads to change in behavior. We'll see if this cause the market to reverse or what's going to happen next. But for this setup, it was oversold. For the setup, it was oversold. I want to stress that's the base of my setup. But going forward, maybe this was the beginning of distribution. So it's all dependent on the time frame you're looking at, right? Right now, right now I can't say because basically we're flirting with this resistant line of resistance here. And so this selling could be a reaction to this. It looks like now we're breaking through it again. All right. Well, let's keep fishing. I'll put the record on pause. All right, so I'm in again for the third trade in hopes that this is going to be a real banger, but um, time will show that it's not completely what I usually like, but there's a lot of strong points here. We got a triple algo here, right? And we've got contraction of the selling, right? So no selling here. We had more buying on this down wave, so that was good. We have continued contraction here of the cumulative um, delta, right? What I don't like so far is that, see, the cumulative buying has not expanded, right? So, we need to see this expanding for price to propel up. Now, either I got in early or we'll see if it happens, right? We had it here, initial buying, right? Um, I'd like to see more demand, right? So this is the thing why I can't say this is a golden setup, but it looked decent enough to take, right? We had the 202 here demand, we have 170 here, so that's not as strong demand as it was before, right? So um, I'm not exactly. I want to see it bust, over 202. Looks like we're in profits throughout 3,000. All right. And looks like, okay, this looks good. We're getting more buying here. Okay, cumulative delta starting to perk up. Um, busted through this up thrust. That was good. We got X total control offers. Okay, so this is starting to look more climactic here, right? And as we can see, it busts through the previous day max line, the one I drew here. Right, so that was a lot of speed, pace of the bids, and starting to look more climactic now. So I set my profit. I wanted to get at least 3 to 1 for this trade because I set it below the swing point. You know, I took it, take profit here at the breakdown zone here. Right? It's not specific, it was just price broke, you know, was a range here and it broke down here. It looks like we're doing pretty good. So now we got 239, we got the more demand. So, you know, demand expanded here. And looks like price is correcting. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'll put the record on pause. All right, so we're back, and you know, our dreams of hitting this take profit without going through some major correction were not realized. Actually, now it's starting to fall down. May take me out. You know, looked good. Looks good initially, but you know, where was the? I guess the part that I didn't like about this setup was that I didn't see the growing demand. Right, this 170. I drew an arrow to it. Right, because that's what I didn't like about it. Is that you know, I could not slap a label on it as a 10 plus points of confluence. But it did look pretty good, but maybe it'll still work out. But I don't know, it's kind of crawling down and that's got me concerned. I'll leave my stop where it is, you know. You know, selling here is slower, coming down, you know. But, you know, like a train rolls through slowly, it's got a lot of power. So we'll see what happens with this. All right, I'll pause and come back. All right, I'm back. I mean, this was a ding dong, definitely. I mean, we're almost got taken out here. I thought that was going to be it, but it didn't get taken out, and then price started to reverse. Right? We've got a lot of supply here, a lot of supply. 322, less selling, you know, compared to this. Right? A lot of supply, less selling. So either we got in early and the setup will hold. But the other thing I'm starting to notice here that I don't like, you know, if price is going to get stuck now and go horizontally, because on the other hand, so we've got a lot of supply and less selling, but at the same time we've got, look at this 352, no new high, so more demand than the previous wave and a lackluster in buying. All right, so from both sides we're seeing sort of stagnation, right? We're seeing stagnation, and I'm in profits right now, and I could just exit. So I see the stagnation. I'm just gonna flatten the position. All right, and you know, be done with it. All right. So we almost got taken out. Almost got taken out here, and we didn't. Okay. So see, so that's why, you know, sometimes it's good to hold your stops where they are, you know, but now I'm starting to see this stagnation sort of movement. Okay. Again, a lot of supply, a lot of demand, contraction in selling, contraction in buying. However, which side has more pulling power? There's a much larger contraction in buying. You see, going from this point to this point, then this point to this point. Okay, so it begs the question: is this the beginning here? The 322 is the beginning of perhaps a distribution phase, you know, and mind you, this level of resistance here, we've been flirting with it, right? We punched through it, and now it's struggling to continue going up, and you know, we're seeing a contraction of buying, right? We see the basis, I see more basis of distribution than accumulation here. Is price going to range? Are we going to come back down? Those are the questions. I'm actually curious to find out. And I already made my goals over 5,000, so I could quit for the day. But let's see if what the result will be from this situation, because I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in seeing what unfolds and my thoughts about it. So I'll put the record on pause and then we'll come back. All right, I'm back now, and I just taken a short, and I'm playing the trade idea of what my initial thoughts were, right? So when we were going up, it was 300 something here. Now it's 438. Made no new high. Meanwhile, we see that the buying continues to contract, 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 right? And we see that also here, right? So, the thing is that we don't see, well, we did see, we have the basis for the short trade right here. The supply, we consider this the supply, the minus 322 is the beginning of the distribution. This is the block of selling that comes in. Buying is diminish, 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 diminish. And what got me in the trade right here was this X total control of the bids right here. Okay. And if we observe here, since the market opened here, okay, since the beginning of the market, we've only seen a couple total control dots, right? We had the bid to control, total control, the offer total control here. We had the bid total control, which ended up being climactic and price rose up. We had total control offers here and punched through this previous level of resistance, and then it came back and it struggled, and we had this another effort, no result, more demand, no higher high. And now we're seeing our next total control dot. So after this total control of the offers, we didn't see another total control here. Bad sign for a bull run. Okay, price starts coming down, and right after this effort, no result, we see total bid control. Total bid control, buying here is diminished, right? We have the basis for supply here, the 322, with the selling, right? And we have the basis for, this is the strongest, in my opinion. This is the strongest trade for today. Okay, this is the one that I would put my money on. All right, this is the trade that before I started doing this series of videos, we're watching the market, only one market for the entire day. This is the type of trade that when I would see it, I would record it and post it. Okay, because this fits all the criteria that I have. All right. Because the key difference between this trade, this triple algo, right? Triple algo is strong. It is strong, but without the basis of strong demand, it could fail. And if my guess is correct, and we start going down, the failure of this triple algo is a powerful signal in itself. If it fails, right? If a signal fails, it doesn't mean it's a bad signal. It gives you a signal in the opposite direction. Okay, we had a Stooges up here, okay, saying that there's, we're struggling crawling up, all right, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm talking as if I'm super confident, but I don't know. We'll see. It's I just I got a feeling about it. Usually, when I get that instinct, when I get that feeling about it, usually I do well. But I could be wrong too. I've just been doing this for a long time. And look at that. This selling is starting to expand. I like seeing that. Price is starting to crawl down. I like that. All right. So this is the trade that I would like to take. And I put my take profit. So we had this point, this point, this point to choose from. These are lows. I want to go for a good solid return on my risk, because these are the kind of trades that I like to take. Now, if technical analysis changes, I'll bail. All right. And I could bail right now and, make 10 grand for the day and be done with it. But I like to adhere by principles, which are adequate risk to reward. So there's 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. I just took, these points were, in the middle, sort of. This was the extremity. There's no magic to it. That's what I took. 260 minus 260, that's good. See, so we're getting supply accompanied by selling. Bingo. That's what we want. We want supply with selling. All right. Anyway, what else can I say? We're seeing, ever since this down move happened, we crawled up, but do you see the X pace? The offers never took control. Total control. You can see here, the X pace, the bids are stronger. Here, the bids are stronger. Right? We're getting later on in the day, so it's not as volatile, so we don't see these huge spikes, but we see that the bids are in control. Right? All right, I'm going to pause. I've been blabbing too much. Let's see what happens. All right, and there she is. Just got hit my profit, 17 grand in profits for the day. Very pleased. All right, so the whole moral about this thing where we had this, supply contraction of selling, but it still was a lot of selling. We had a larger amount of demand. See, compare 438 to the minus 322. It's a lot more demand. And in scale, it produced a lot less buying than this 322. That was the tilting point. So that's how we could see the bias, which side has the more pulling power. So we had the cause, the 322, 438. Those are the largest numbers since the opening of the market, right? Since here, 322, 438, something had to give. This was the cause for, these large supply and demand numbers are the cause for this, downward movement here. That's the cause and effect Wyckoff principle. So very pleased with how that worked out. Here I could have gotten in on another trade, but I was busy checking emails and put this in the background. But what I want to comment about this is that, see, we had total control of the offers here, but there's not really any buying. Predominantly we're in selling. There's no demand here, the 67. And then next bar, we regain total control of the bids. It's like a whiplash, like whoopsh, whoopsh, And if you study these, total control dots, this happens. And, it's not uncommon that this happens, these whiplashes. It goes total control one side, the other side takes control and, slams down. Like here, look at that, it whiplashed here. Selling to buying, whoopsh, right? Here it's a whiplash, whoopsh, right? So you can study that. That's actually, I've noticed that, this whiplash in the X control dots. They're pretty tradable. All right, well, now selling is, sort of, contracting. So, that was a very good exit point right here. It's contracting in the histogram, so I don't think I'd want to stay in. All right, we're getting minus 500, huge amount of supply, but selling's contracting. So that was a great exit point. So even if I wasn't taken out by my take profit line, I would have exited here by the technical analysis. Anyway, that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time.